Okay, so I just wanted to do a little practice actually that might be helpful if you're feeling a little ungrounded or anxious at the moment. So I'm going to suggest that we start in Sukhasana, this comfortable cross-legged position, which isn't always comfortable cross-legged, but we'll go for it anyway. And I'm going to suggest you take the left leg in front of the right, just so it's easier for me to explain what we're doing. So left in front of right, hands resting on your thighs, just closing the eyes and just feeling into your body, just noticing your body even, your hands in contact with your thighs, your sitting bones on the earth. And then connecting with your breath, so we're breathing in and out through the nose. And just focusing on expanding as much as you can on your inhalation. And releasing as much as you can on your exhalation. So a real sense of bringing air into the lungs. Maybe creating space between your ribs, working with your diaphragm to create that space. And then bringing movement into the body, so just beginning with some hip circles in a clockwise direction, inhaling from left around to the right knee, and exhaling right knee around to left. And one more. Before coming back to the starting position and just feeling into your body again. Finding your feet as well, so having a real sense of your feet and a sense of almost feeding the thigh bones deeper into your hips. And seeing if maybe your torso can settle itself into the space ahead of it then, as if you were going to bring your torso down towards the mat, but just so you can bring your hands down onto the mat. Just real keep a sense of collection into your shoulders, and then your right leg, see if you can take it back behind you. So maybe you take a breath in, and as you breathe out, take it back behind you. So you'll find yourself in theory anyway, pigeon, so Ekapada Rajakopatasana. So your outer left shin bone resting to the earth, the left thigh bone deep in the left hip. Sense almost of bringing your right thigh bone forward, resting your pelvis down, as if you could then come up through your spine. Feel as if, bizarre as it may sound, as if I'm lifting you up underneath your armpits. Find the roundness of the back of your skull. Breathing. Okay, and then we're going to take a breath in, and as you breathe out, popping your left buttock back down onto the mat. We'll bring the right leg all the way around, so your right leg ends up in front of your left leg this time, I'm thinking. Hands resting on your thighs, and hip circles in an anti-clockwise direction, so inhaling right knee to left, and exhaling left to right. Last one. Coming back to your starting position after your exhalation, feeling into the body again. And then seeing if you can find your feet, more of your feet, almost directing your thigh bones deeper into your hips, making them really round and welcoming places. And your whole torso then coming forward into the space ahead of it. Hands coming down onto the mat. Excuse me. I'm going to take a breath in, And as you breathe out, your left leg this time going all the way back around behind you, finding your outer right shin, a sense of collecting into your right hip, letting the pelvis rest down. Feel as if someone, maybe me, is lifting you up underneath your armpits. Find the back of your skull, find a little bit of weight through your chin and just breathe. Okay, then we'll take a breath in. And as you breathe out this time, seeing if you might bring your left knee forward a little bit as your right knee goes back. So you end up on all fours. And if it's comfortable to do so, another hip circle here. In one direction and then in the opposite direction perhaps. Just letting the body have a little bit of movement as it chooses. Okay, and then coming back to the starting position. And then let's see if we might take a breath in. And as you breathe out, take your right foot forward, so your right knee is over your right ankle. Take your right hand to the inside of your right foot. And then just seeing if you might then take a breath in, turn your chest towards the left. Maybe the left hand goes up in the air. And exhale, releasing down. Just doing that 2 more times. So there's inhaling, opening through your chest, exhaling down, really feeling your right foot on the mat, inhaling and exhaling, that's it. And then from there, just taking your right foot off in line with your left knee. Okay, straightening into it if you can, or having a little bend if you need to. I'm kind of going to have my back to you now, sorry about this. So you're going to take a breath in, and this time turning your chest to the right as the right hand goes up, and then exhaling, coming down. So 2 more like that. Inhaling, the right hand going up as the chest turns from your belly. Exhaling down, feeling your right foot on the mat. 1 more. Inhaling and exhaling, releasing down. Well done. And then just popping your right knee back on the mat. So both knees back on the mat. And then on your next inhalation, left foot coming up, popping your left foot where your left hand is probably. Left knee above the left ankle, left hand to the inside of your left foot. I'm going to have my back to you again. So you're going to take a breath in, turn your chest towards the right. Maybe the right hand comes up if that's comfortable. And then exhaling down. 2 more like that. So you're inhaling, turning to the right. Right hand maybe goes up. Exhaling down. And last one. Inhaling, turning your chest to the right. And exhaling, coming down. And then you're just going to step your left foot off in line with your right knee now. Right hand stays on the mat, moving from your belly. Take a breath in, chest to your left, left hand up. Exhaling down. 2 more. Inhaling. Exhaling. 1 more. Exhaling, releasing down, that's it. And then pop your left knee back onto the mat. And maybe just taking hip circles or swaying the hips. Or you might want to bring your pelvis back towards your heels and come up from there. So see what feels right for your body, just having the opportunity to just have a little feel around. And then we're going to end up, actually, I'm going forwards and backwards, we're going to end up, if we can, with the pelvis back over the heels. Okay, so you're in this Balasana or Hasta Balasana with the hands forward. And then we'll take 3 rounds of striking cobra here if we can. And if that doesn't feel right for you, then just stay here. But otherwise, on an inhalation, the nose almost traces the mat towards your hands, at which point you straighten your arms. And then exhale, coming back into extended pose of child. So you're inhaling, the nose comes along just above the mat to your hands. And exhaling, and then 1 more like that. And then you might just stay here resting in pose of a child. You might repeat that striking cobra or take it a little stage further And we'll do the inhalation of the nose towards the hands, but then we'll keep going towards the front of the mat and just scooping up through the crown of the head into a kind of upward facing dog. And then exhale, come all the way back into extended pose of child. So again, inhaling, nose comes towards the hands, goes all the way through to the front of the mat. And then you exhale, come all the way back from there. So one more, inhaling, almost scooping through. The knees can come up if you want them to. Then bring them down to exhale, bring the pelvis back in space, forehead down. And then we'll all take a breath in from here, come all the way up onto hands and knees. We're going to exhale, bring the hands maybe only 30 centimetres or so ahead of the knees. We're going to bend the elbows towards the thighs, tucking the toes under. And then we'll take a breath in. We'll slowly open the knee joints as we open the elbow joints. And take a little Ardha Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog, maybe gazing up towards your navel centre. Breathing. Okay, and then we'll take a breath in. As you breathe out, bend into your knees and your elbows as you bring your knees down onto the mat. And then you can release your legs all the way around from there. Excuse me. Bring yourself down onto your back. And maybe take a breath in. Let's take the feet up in the air. So it's almost like the feet take the legs up in the air. And then maybe a strange one. Just imagine that you're going to take your knees, wrap your knees over like a monkey bar or something. So hopefully that's not too harrowing a memory for you. So you're going to take a breath in, and as you breathe out, the feet are going to come down onto the mat, but almost as if, yeah, there was a bar behind the back of your knees, and that might take you off the small of your back and deeper onto your pelvis. And let the feet rest down, so let the knees and the shins rest down with the feet. Let the thigh bones rest into your hips. Just take a breath in, bring your hands up towards the ceiling, and just let the upper arm bones rest down, the shoulders rest down, and then slowly releasing your arms down beside your body, almost kind of digging your elbows into the mat a little bit, forearms down, hands down. And then with your breath, take an inhalation, and as you exhale, feet go down to bring the buttocks and the pelvis and the back away from the mat without clenching the buttocks. And just breathe here. Seti Bandhasana. Okay, and then on an exhalation, release your pelvis back down onto the mats. And maybe even imagine that you've got roots growing out the soles of your feet, just connecting you to the very centre of the earth. And then perhaps from there, just extending your left leg along the mat, taking your right foot onto your left thigh and your left hand to the outer right thigh. Your right hand might come a little higher up the mat. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, coming through your belly. So just twisting through your belly, not worrying about the right knee coming down to the mat. Just make sure your spine feels comfortable. Open heart. Take another breath in, and as you breathe out, release back to the centre. Release your right leg along the mat now. And bending into your left knee, take your left foot onto your right thigh. Right hand can go to the outer left thigh, and your left hand might just come a little bit away from the left side of the body. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, almost twisting through your centre, so keeping an open heart. Taking a breath in, and as you breathe out, coming all the way back. And then maybe from here, you might inhale both knees into your chest, just supporting the outer thighs, so you're not pulling on the legs. Just feel the weight of the back of the body on the mat. Just feel yourself supported by the earth. And then just resting into that support. So coming into Shavasana, where your feet are apart, the arms are down beside the body. Those of you who are Reiki attuned could actually rest your hands somewhere on your body and just give yourself some Reiki. And I'm going to suggest, as we come to rest, you might just take 3 really gentle rounds of Brahmari breath, the bumblebee breath. So you're going to breathe in through your nose and then just a gentle hum, just lengthening into your exhalation 3 times over. Just allowing the body to be held by the earth, resting into that support. Know on a very sort of deep level that the universe has your back.